Elder Advisors, you know, if I tell you that I can give you information that will save you money, I think that we have all ears. I'm in there. I want to hear about it. Don't go broke in a nursing home. Some of the horror stories that you hear, that can be true unless you employ the services of Elder Advisors. Larry Weiss is here. He is the owner and the president, and Lindsay Fleming, who is the senior vice president. Welcome to both of you. How hot is it out there, Larry?
Maybe it's smoking hot with you in the studio, I can tell you that. I can tell you that. Wait a minute, Liz,
I fed you that line, didn't I?
Yeah, no. Liz, the producer, is saying, where's Zach in engineering? L.A. showed up, introduced himself, very professional, but none of us can find Zach. Where's Waldo? Forget about Waldo. Where's Zach? Kentuckiana, welcome.
He's back, ladies and gentlemen.
Listens Live with John Ramsey, co-starring Larry Weiss. Don't go broke in nursing home because you don't have to. By the way, a client of yours, a mutual friend, Lisa and Howard Gitley.
Okay, yes.
Lisa McFarland, WLRS.
Yes.
Loves you. But it was kind of, because when we're dealing with families, it's an emotional time. And stuff like that. And I met with Lisa, and we started talking about, our common love for John Ramsey. Who doesn't love John Ramsey? I mean, come on. So we're talking, and Lisa gets all emotional. Because a lot of times dealing with families, and we were just being friends and talking and stuff, she started getting emotional and crying a little bit. I said, well, Lisa, is it my body odor? Because I only shower once a week. I said, what's going on? And she said, Larry, and her husband was there, so they have a good marriage. And she said, I never thought I would see anyone more beautiful than John Ramsey. And it happened today, Larry. I don't even think about John Ramsey because your beauty surpasses everything that John Ramsey has. And I was like, good for you, Lisa.
I know you're the president and CEO, but you know how much money you could have made in sales? You could have made big bucks.
Don't go broke in a nursing home, Kentuckiana, because you don't have to.
Stay with us, Kentuckiana. The point is coming up.
It is coming up.
The point's coming up.
In fact, Lindsay,
we're on our way there.
She is biting at the bit. She wants to get in there. So, Lindsay, if you would, it's gotten off the rails a little bit, as it tends to do.
It's never been on the rails. I don't know when we've been on the rails.
So let's talk about exactly what you do at Elder Advisors and why these workshops, they really are valuable. I've had lots of positive emails saying, I learned so much, and yes, I did save money. Talk about what you guys do.
So we are protecting assets and providing peace of mind. That's what we're doing for families all across Kentuckiana, and we do that in several ways. Sometimes we're working with folks in a crisis plan. They have a loved one in a nursing home or in rehab. Maybe they've been in the hospital. They're getting some short-term rehab. We're working with those families, and we're working with families who are just pre-planning. Nursing home, long-term care, they're very healthy. That's nowhere on their radar, but we're pre-planning. We're helping them avoid the crisis. So either way, whatever stage that you're in, if you have a loved one in a nursing facility currently or even doing some rehab, you certainly have a seat at our workshops coming up, and we want to see you there. But if you're, maybe in your early 60s and kind of retirement, and the sort of next phase is starting to lay on your heart a little bit and come into your mind, you have a seat at our workshop next week. So either way, there's a spot for you, and we can help families in a lot of different ways.
And there's a reason, Larry, that people procrastinate, because I think, one, it can be complex, multi-layered. You're talking insurance, you're talking attorney, you're talking all these different things. And that's what's great about Elder Advisors. No one does what you do because you cover everything. It's turnkey. Talk about some of the layers that are involved here and some of the elements that are involved.
Well, and that's partly why we redid our commercial for the workshops, and we love Gary and David in production here at Wave 3.
Oh, they're fantastic.
My whole family, Wave 3, love Wave 3, top to bottom. But we did update the commercial a little bit, because we talk about, if you have a loved one in a nursing home or even in rehab, Kentuckiana, you need to come to the workshop, because so many people are in the denial, even when their loved one's in rehab, because they think they have 100 days, we got time. No, you don't. No, you don't, because if you have a loved one in rehab right now, Lindsay calls it the unicorn of the 100 days. And I'm going to let Lindsay pick up on that, because I don't want to take from her thunder, because that's a really great little quote.
Yeah, we were sitting with some community partners this morning, and I said, I've been doing this for about 15 years. And I said, I remember back in the day when I first started, someone would come in from a knee replacement or a hip replacement or a hip fracture, and they would stay with us 100 days. They would rehab for 100 days. And just the healthcare system, and over time that's changed, and we don't have that luxury anymore. So Kentuckiana is seeing, and nationwide, Kentuckiana is not different, but nationwide we're seeing 2-3 weeks sometimes for rehab. So the 100 days is really, it's a ceiling, it's a cap. You'll never get more than 100 days, but really that's a unicorn. The folks that we're working with, we get really excited if we're into that 30, 40-day range. That's incredible. That's incredible. So 100 days is a myth. It's no longer true. So please don't count on it, folks. If you're in rehab right now, you may be watching us from your rehab center, just coming off your physical therapy. You've got a seat at the workshop. Call us and set up an appointment. We want to see you and we want to help you.
Let's talk about these workshops, the importance of. Okay, what are some of the things that will be discussed? Because we talked about multi-layered, so what kind of information do people need to know?
Well, I tell the people to workshops when we start with Steve Langdon, our elder law superstar attorney, we open up with 3 key questions. And I told the folks, you don't have to be honest with me, Kentucky, but it's important you're honest with yourself and your family. So everybody's hands are going to go up at least once, and I'll ask families, how many people have a loved one in a nursing home or about to go in a nursing home, and hands will go up. And that's crisis planning, because families are easily going through $8,000 to $10,000 a month.
Easily.
I mean, put things in context. My parents, I still have both my parents, I'm very blessed. Their first house in 1960 was $6,000.
Yes,
okay, people are paying up to double that right now per month. That's crisis planning. We can help. Because Kentucky, that's why you're coming to the workshop next Monday or Tuesday. Because if you have a husband and wife, if one spouse goes into care, we can protect all of the assets. All the assets. This is what Steve calls the special exceptions. We can protect all the assets. For a single person, we can protect about half of the assets. So that's crisis planning. The second variable is we have someone at home. We're getting some rehab. Autumn Schneider, our placement angel, had a great family come in yesterday. It was a referral from a community. They engaged our services. And they can leave mom alone for a little bit. And she has dementia, so we're working with them, and so we're helping with that. And the other thing is, you know, I'm a little zany and I'm a little crazy and stuff, I am, but I'm having the time of my life because I'm living, I'm not existing, and this is tough stuff, okay? Don't make light of that, Kentuckiana, that I don't take this seriously, because I do. Because you could not have a more serious advocate than Larry Weiss and Elder Advisors with Lindsay Fleming, because we have to take facilities to toe sometimes to make sure things are done right. Financially, Lindsay's been on the phone for hours with one deal. People just don't understand all that stuff. It's the sausage making behind the curtain. So I like to have a little fun. And the guy, the one, Steve, he was having a lot of fun laughing, and he enjoyed it. You know, I mean, 95% of the people get me. The other 5%, they get mad when they see a squirrel. So I can't help those people. But they were pre-crisis planning, and we can help them. And then the third variable is how many people simply want to avoid this. And that's what Lindsay's really bringing to the table, is pre-planning. Just do some things ahead of time, because you can avoid so many problems of stress, heartache, and losing dollars in pre-planning. And we can help with all 3 of those variables, but almost every road goes through the law firm of CLLB Law. Steve does a great job for us.
You said something there that really sticks out to me, really resonates, because we talk about dollars, and certainly they're important, but you said heartache that is involved. And that's something that's important as well. You know that people are not in an emotional, I guess, people just emotionally aren't very stable at that point. You can't blame them. It's a loved one, right?
Yeah. I had a couple sisters come in yesterday afternoon. We're working with them, and it's a stressful time, no doubt about it. And so I finally, you know, I just had to kind of tell them, I said, you know, don't shoot the messenger. You know, I'm just conveying the messages that Medicaid is basically conveying to the law firm, so I kind of take the ball when I can and transfer it to the family and kind of be the intermediary. So I had to tell them, I said, it's the system. We'll get you there. You know, I've never lost a patient yet, but it is stressful. But just don't shoot the messenger sometimes, because it is stressful. And I think they kind of, okay, just kind of a reality check, because it is stressful. But the point of working with elder advisors is you've got someone to defer to. This poor girl, Lindsay's on the phone all the time with families. I mean, I don't read emails or texts, you know, real quick. And this poor girl was listening, what, a 4-minute voicemail yesterday?
Well, and I think that's one of the things, and Larry said something to me this week, is that they would never be able to do that on their own. And that's not because these families are not educated or not. That's not the case. We work with well-educated, well-to-do folks all the time, and the system is built that way. I think it's built so that the common folks can't. You really have to know one thing and do it well, and that's what we do at Elder Advisors. Whether it's placement with Autumn, whether it's ongoing communications with the facilities with me, or the financial component with Larry, the legal component with Steve at CLLB, we know one thing, and it's how to advise elders to really enjoy these years, to protect their assets and provide peace of mind.
Yes.
And so
strategies.
Anybody who's interested in a little bit of peace of mind and holding on to the assets that you guys have, you have a spot at our workshop.
All right, in the final 30 seconds, Larry, we're going to put up the information for the workshops. If you would, invite folks, and it is important, quit procrastinating. This is good information. The news is good.
It is good news, as Steve Langdon, our elder law superstar attorney, declares, and it is. Folks, come out. It's good weather now. Monday night, June 20th, 6 o'clock at the Hilton Garden in Louisville on Crenton, right off the I-65, exit number 132. And for the Indiana people, Tuesday morning the 21st at 10 a.m. at the Hampton Inn in Clarksville and Broadway off Veterans Parkway. Don't go broke in nursing home because you don't have to, Kentuckiana. Freeworkshop.com or call 855-LARRY-55. It answers all of your questions. All
righty, there we go. So Larry Weiss about to go poolside here. It's such a hot day.
I have to say hi to Ronnie and Riley.
Ronnie and Riley.
They're at home.
Taco City tonight, Ronnie.
They wanted a shout out. So
all right, Ronnie and Riley.
Mom would be in trouble if I didn't give a shout out.
Love AJ, buddy.
All right, we'll take a break, and then Don G will tell you what's coming up at 2 o'clock on Wave Country.